Hey buddies, welcome to Video Games Awesome Live. We're looking at some Overwatch. It's been a while and I really have been hankering for some team play with people who actually give a fuck about playing as a team. I'm sick of pubs. But there's some things that Becky's here because we're going to just discuss a couple changes coming to Overwatch. We got a lot of these, by the way. Let's open up one just to start off the show. The Lunar New Year is over.
What'd you get? I got fucking nothing. Oh, actually I got that and I love it.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's already, there we go. Nice. One more.
Why don't you do all the Lunar New Year ones?
Oh, a bunch of cash. That's the best thing you can open. You know what?
What?
Look,
What's he say?
If you're doing the Lunar New Year shit, or any special event, and you open a legendary skin, and then you open that legendary skin again, or if you bought the legendary skin and then you open it, you shouldn't get. They give you how does it go? Like you get
a certain amount of cash.
What's the percentage you get for a duplicate again? It's 10%, or is it 30%? They should give you 10% of the real amount. They don't. It's worth 3,000. And yet it's 200 for a legendary.
Yeah.
So what is that? That's 10%, right? How much is a legendary?
It depends on how much the legendary
20%.
is, right?
You get 20% of it. Because a legendary is worth 1,000, and they give you 20% if they give you 200 gold. So you should get 600 gold for a legendary
that would be nice.
Special event skin since they're triple the price to buy.
That would be nice.
It's bullshit. Anyways,
what's he say?
This is really good to have though, 500 currency.
Are you chicken?
Oh yeah.
All right, so anyways.
It is 20%.
Changes in the PTR. The big one coming, major Overwatch news, is Bastion is being buffed. And I've already talked to Becky off show about this, but we'll talk about it again. Let me see if my memory is good on this. His damage, his bullet spread, which is the cone that the bullets go out in, is being increased by 25%. So it's being increased.
Nice.
So that he's going to be less effective from a long range.
Oh, right.
So,
right.
bad thing.
Bad thing.
Yes, because you're less precise. you're less precise. Maybe if you have bad aim, it's a good thing, because if you can't hit anything at people that are close, then the spread, maybe less damage will hit them, but some damage will hit them. So I guess that's good. And thank you. Yeah, keep on giving me these facts to remind me. He's always at max spread. There's no starting at, like, most characters, such as Soldier, many characters, start with a small, like a... like that. And the idea is that you, like, just do little burst shots when you're trying to get somebody who's far away, like...
Right.
Can't do that with him anymore. So they're getting rid of the idea about him being a guy who sits up in the back corner. And when you come in, like, even though you're all the way across the room, you're dead to the Bastion. They're getting rid of that. Now he's going to be more about being a mobile guy who drops down, sets up
Which
fast.
is how I've tried to play him.
Yeah, that's how I've always tried to make him work.
But it is time consuming.
Say that 50% stat again. So he takes 35% less damage while he's in his tank and turret forms. Tank being his ultimate, turret being when he's on the ground planted. So the idea is that's called Ironclad, a passive ability that he just is always taking 35% less damage. What I don't like about that is that it's not evident visually to anybody playing. You have to just know that about Bastion, and that's fine, but that's kind of inelegant as far as Overwatch game design goes. Usually they've been really good about, like, visually knowing, like armor. Armor shows you. You know that he's taking less damage until that armor's gone. Now you just have to know. Outside of Anna's nano boost, you never had to just know that he's taking less damage right now.
Yeah.
But now you have to just realize that 35% less damage is happening. Interesting thing about that 35% damage reduction. When he is nano boosted, in addition to being in turret form, or ultimate, but turret form both get 35% less damage, he has an effective health of something like, I forget the number, somebody calculated it. It's an effective health of an insane amount. It's like he can survive directly every ultimate. Every
Yes.
single character's ultimate only gets them down as, like, most of them don't even put a dent in them.
Yeah.
And I think the very best one, like Pharah's and Roadhog's, get him down to a sliver, but he still doesn't die. He's got
Really?
that much health, which gives him an
Holy
effective
shit.
health of, like, over 10,000 or something like that if he's nano boosted in addition to that. But just in turret form, I forget, there's another... It depends on the weapon firing, but the effective health is quite a lot while in turret form.
He can survive ultimates just healing through them in turret form.
That's the next fact. He can now heal while taking damage.
Awesome.
Taking damage does not interrupt it. However, he will now have a limited amount of healing he can do, similar to D.Va's Matrix. As you use it, that meter goes down
Right,
and then
yeah,
it goes
yeah.
back up.
Yeah.
So you can't just stay there healing non-stop.
Oh. I always thought that was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you could just heal.
Yeah, what? Just heal forever?
Yeah.
Well, it was balanced by the fact that you couldn't do it in action. You had to go find some
I
safe
suppose,
spot to do
yeah.
it, and usually you died on your way running away to begin with.
Yeah.
I think very few people use Bastion's healing because you just never found a situation where a healer didn't help you before you could go find a safe spot.
Oh, yeah?
Like, how often did... Okay. Another thing about him. Headshots are gone. He can no longer headshot anybody. So his damage spread, that hose
Okay.
of bullets...
Yeah.
So he's less effective potentially against tanks who have generally big heads.
Yeah.
However, the idea is that he's going to now, because how did they change his? I should have just brought up the notes. They've changed his the rate at which he plops down and gets back up by
Right.
like I forget the percentage.
That's the one thing that I was interested in.
So it seems clear that they are trying to hone him in to be a guy who stays with the team now. Mm-hmm. And he's just a pure damage output, which is interesting in the meta because right now the current meta is... It's kind of leaning away now from the 3-tank meta that was really hinged on Ana being more effective. And she's actually been, I think, changed again. But she's less effective
is.
than she once was. Deploy time, so he's decreased his deployment time by 30%, which is pretty big. It's probably going to feel quite big. Ana's been changed again, by the way. Oh, that's just... okay, so here's all the stats. Bullet spread was increased by 50%. Well, that...
Whoa.
I guess I got that wrong. Somebody probably tried to correct me. Bullet spread always at maximum. Magazine size has now been increased
Oh shit, really?
from 200 to 300, which allows him to just for so fucking long,
Yeah.
right? Like, so headshot multiplier's been removed, no longer deals critical damage in general, blah, blah,
Ever
blah.
since this was announced, we've been seeing a lot more Bastions in comp.
Yeah, well, because people are practicing them ahead of time, right? Like, they're trying
Yeah.
to get better at them before it even starts. This is where I got the 25% from. In his recon, running around, his bullet spread has been decreased by 25%, and his magazine size has been increased by from 20 to 25, which is, I guess, 25% increase, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've made him so that he's better moving about and better plop down if he's at close range. So again, anybody who's played a lot of comp Overwatch knows that if a team doesn't have a Reinhardt, everybody's begging for someone to go Reinhardt. Reinhardt, and the pro statistics also show this, Reinhardt is like in almost every game. You just need... Most teams face off and they try to see... It's whoever can melt the other Reinhardt shield first, and then grab somebody, hopefully, with either a Roadhog or some other character who can get a long-range shot. And once you've whittled away one character, most teams consider that to be an advantage, so you start to slowly push in.
Right.
That's how most, especially pinch point maps work. In this case, though, now, like, I think you're going to see, like, this is going to change the meta a lot. Reinhardt will potentially become very much, and that type of comp, waiting and watching each other through Reinhardt shields, may become much less viable since it's so easily counterable.
Right.
Bastion, if you thought he melted shields fast before, Bastion will now melt it in one clip, basically.
That's
so you're going to see
crazy.
battles, like if a Reinhardt on Reinhardt battle happens, it'll be whoever has a Bastion who's going to win
Yeah.
that face-off. So people are going to run a lot of Bastions. And in addition to that, here's my prediction. I'm hoping this will make Winston more popular. because Winston, that extra 1,000 on your shield, if you really do want to do a Reinhardt on Reinhardt battle, well, the winner will be the one who drops down the extra 1,000 in shield.
Right.
In front, or Sombra maybe.
Right.
Whoever throws out that extra bit of protection just to offset that damage will be the one who keeps their Reinhardt shield up a little bit longer. We'll see what happens, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see, Bastion's not hiding anymore, coming around with the team, being more active. I think it'll be good for the game.
Yeah.
Because the turtling strategy, I mean, Bastions have been sometimes quite effective on certain maps when a team is really locked down a point, especially on Hanamura's second point. That was one of the major ones, I would say.
Winston's barrier is 600, isn't it?
That was during the beta. It's 1,000. It's
1,000? Okay.
Yeah, I think at one point it was 600. Way long time ago.
That's how I always tried to play. Anytime that I play Bastion, I guess I obviously learned this from you. I'd try to plunk down somewhere, kill a couple people, and then get up and move and go somewhere else.
It's the best way to do it.
Kill people, get up and move. And now
be in unpredictable spots.
Yeah.
And the other
So much
way that a
easier.
lot of people use Bastion was surprise Bastion. And that can be very effective because, if you just suddenly switch out a character to be Bastion on, one of my favorites is the last point on, why can't I think of the name? Not Hollywood, but the other one that's Western.
Route 66.
Route 66, thank you, Jesus.
Sorry, pardon me.
So anyways, that's the biggest change in the PTR. I think there was one other small change coming. Oh, Roadhog's hook is now... Okay, so this is another thing. That's one of the biggest counters to a close-range Bastion is Roadhog hooks.
Yeah, totally.
If you're not in the back corner as Bastion, you're in trouble from Roadhog, and because he just gets you and you get pulled right out of your turret form into Sentry, and you're a sitting duck. So he's been nerfed, and this one I'm really worried about. So I'll switch to Roadhog just for visual. Roadhog has been switched so that, first of all, his hook goes from 6 seconds to 8 seconds cooldown.
Right.
Ouch.
Right.
Ouch. And here's the thing, a lot of people were complaining about Roadhog hooks, but not in the way that, he needs to be nerfed. A lot of the complaints were just his hook needs to be fixed. That was a bullshit hook, that was a bullshit hook, or something like that.
Okay.
This perception, and the hook has been really hard for the developers to make work right because it's a very weird weapon, and it does result because of latency in the game in moments where it feels unfair, but it wasn't unfair on their screen, it was just unfair on your screen.
Right.
Because, you think that you got away in time, but no, you actually didn't according to latency and stuff. And so if any weapon was going to exacerbate the latency anger, it was going to be the hook. They recently fixed it so that things like breaking line of sight from the hook could actually break the hook. It made his hook has already been way less effective at getting people down from places because all they have to do is step back. And even if you get hooked, as long as you are currently walking back, the line of sight will be broken. Because you have a very splits, about a half to a second of even after being hooked to do a thing, including dashing.
Okay.
You'll still be hooked, by the way, while dashing. But anyways, so his hook has become less effective, but now they're reducing it again. And so even though this is just one nerf that I feel like is unnecessary because I didn't hear an abundance of people going, oh, Roadhog needs to be nerfed, Roadhog needs to be nerfed. I heard a lot of people saying Roadhog needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
But just because his hook was janky, and even the developer acknowledged some hooks were a bit janky.
Yeah.
And they were trying to fix it. But now they're nerfing him? Just as Bastion gets buffed? A guy who melts Roadhog at close range? It's going to be a sad day for Roadhog, I think, for a while. So anyways, the other thing that they've changed, now when he pulls you in, and this is a good thing to show what I feel about this, I always loved how Roadhog's hook was this thing get over here, and then you're right in his face, and you can see the fear of the character as you shoot them in the head.
Aww,
now,
good.
They've changed currently where he brought you was 2 meters away from him, which I was surprised by, because it feels like they're right in your face, right, when you bring them up. Now it's 3.5 meters away, almost double the distance.
Okay.
Which means that, I've seen the footage of it, when he brings you in, it looks like they're standing at a distance from you. It doesn't look personal anymore. To offset that, they've made it so that his bullet spread has been reduced by, I think, 25%. Which is going to make him more accurate from a distance, and they say he'll be more effective with his regular gun outside of doing hooks. He'll be able to be more accurate and get people...
You're out of melee range.
You're out of melee range, which, to be frank, Hook 2.0, which they just had made, actually made it so that the melee combo wasn't even that necessary anymore.
Oh, really?
I was finding myself killing... automatically, people who I never killed automatically before, like Reapers and fucking Maze and stuff, were much easier to kill without the hook combo, I found. So the melee combo actually hadn't been being used for a while, I think for the most part, for most characters. A lot of people probably continue to do it just out of habit, but I was finding it wasn't even that necessary. I don't need the melee after the new hook. Yeah, like, sometimes it would come in handy, especially if they had, like, a healing orb on them or something that just gave them a little extra health, but in general, it wasn't that big of a deal. So, them being out of melee range, I'm not that upset about, but what I am upset about is the feeling of them being in your face and being, oh fuck, Roadhog got me. Now it's like, oh, Roadhog brought me slightly closer kind of feeling. And it's like...
Aw, that's a bummer.
It really is. And the other thing about 3.5 meters away is...
I think people are going to start using the alt fire after the hook now.
Yeah, I actually will be interested to see. Oh, there's another big issue with the hook, as some YouTubers have demonstrated. It doesn't kill certain characters, even with perfect aim. And that's wrong. Really? Roadhog should kill all squishies, even if they've changed the distance. Perfect aim should still be an auto kill for all squishies. For whatever reason, he can kill Widowmaker with one hit, but he can't kill Hanzo. He can't kill...
That's weird.
Sombra.
Widowmaker and Hanzo have the same amount of health.
Yeah. And similar hitboxes size and everything, but he can kill other people of similar, like he can kill Anna one shot, stuff like that, and she's kind of even smaller than I'd say Hanzo. He can kill Lucio in one shot. I'm assuming it's a mistake, and
Anna and Lucio's hitboxes are goofed up.
Yeah, my assumption is that with this change I don't think Blizzard intended for these characters to survive, and that they're going to tweak it to make sure that they do die in one shot.
Okay.
I don't think it was intended by them. He can kill Tracer. Yes, slim and small. Kind of fucked up. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, so, like, go look it up. YouTubers have demonstrated it's very odd. Characters who really don't look like they should survive, and characters who look the exact same as the ones who survive die. It's very weird. But anyways, the other issue I have with the hook being changed, now if in a Reinhardt on Reinhardt battle, Reinhardt lets down his shield to do one of those flame strikes, which happens often because he's trying to build his ult, a good Roadhog will pick out one of those characters when for that split second that shield's down, it will go, got your Lucio, asshole.
Yeah.
Now, with the 3.5 meters away, Reinhardt shield, especially like on something like Hanamura first point, are often right up against each other. That Reinhardt makes his mistake, throws out that flame strike, you get his Lucio, Reinhardt will just put that shield right back up, and Lucio lands on the other side of his Reinhardt shield. He doesn't even die.
Yeah.
That's stupid. That sucks. Like, it's going to have so many of these moments where it's like, I got you, but you're still safe because 3.5 meters is so much fucking further away than 2 meters, and you're just in your team still. Like, you're not, the whole point of Roadhog, plucking people out of the team, doesn't even really exist at close range anymore. I don't like it at all. And it's not, again, to me, it's not like that it made Roadhog less powerful. I think that overall, Roadhog will be just as viable because of the change in the cone of his damage. He's going to be better from a medium distance at hitting people, even when not hooking. He'll just like be able to hit people that he would usually have to give up on because of the size of his bullet spread. I just don't like the feel that it changes and the way that it will make him feel. Like, I always loved, again, I'm just kind of beating this like a dead horse, but I love the person-to-person feel, that up-close and personal feeling, and now it's going to be, I think, gone. Yeah. And it kind of destroys the point of the character, in my opinion.
Roadhog mains are going to be mad about that.
Yeah, well, my biggest advice to people who get angry about nerfs and buffs, play more characters so that it's only a drop in a bucket in the changes of the game to you. You know, like, it's an ebb and flow with Overwatch, and, you know, you should, if you play a lot of characters, it's not a big deal. It's like, I'm just going to take a break from that character until they fix him again, you know? Is there anything else that there was? They changed one more thing, didn't they? And I can't remember. Eichenwald's being changed. The second gate no longer closes after the payload passes through. Okay, I'll look at Mercy in a second. On Eichenwald, at that last gate that you bust down, now instead of a second gate coming and closing, it'll just be a pile of rubble there. So the attackers will have a bit more of an advantage being able to like kind of funnel in damage from a distance to get through that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, because that was a difficult area. Even after you'd push the payload around the corner, it felt like sometimes the opposing team would switch characters and actually get to push you back to the door again.
Yeah.
And you'd never get past the door to even get back to your payload that you pushed again.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It was an issue. Mercy has been changed.
Winston and custom matches are the three things.
I forgot about these. Mercy, while resurrected, while performing a resurrection, Mercy now becomes temporarily invulnerable, along with the allies being revived. Temporarily. I love how precise they can be about their descriptions sometimes, and then sometimes they're just like, temporarily. Give me a fucking second count. What is it? 0.5? Is it 1 second of invulnerability? Is it the length of time that Mario gets when he turns from Super Mario into Little Mario? Like, how long is it?
I want them to use that.
Yeah, just to say that. It could be pretty big. It all depends on how long. Like, and then the other thing, the staff will no longer be targeted when Transcendence is active. Oh, Zenyatta can't be targeted, potentially to fly towards nor heal, I guess. So,
you guys think it's a buff she needed?
She has been needed a little bit. Like, mainly she needs a buff just because not many people see a reason to play her over Lucio / Ana combo right now.
True.
Especially on PC. I don't know.
I love playing Lucio.
Lucio's awesome. And every character's gotten new options to adjust their sensitivity. Mainly any hero that targets friendly heroes can adjust their sensitivity for that targeting now.
Right.
Zenyatta, her, Ana. Mei can now be targeted by allies while in cryo freeze, meaning that Mei can be healed while she's in her.
That's crazy. So
she potentially, while Mei is at low health and goes into her little ice, could be healed by Mercy, and then that Mei could disengage the ice block to decrease her next cooldown for that by about 3 seconds. It could be quite useful.
Yeah.
How many Meis are going to get pissed off that you stole my ult charge by healing me while I was in there?
God.
I've seen people on comp, on pubs, complain when you heal them, saying, I get ult charge when I heal. Why are you healing me? Like Roadhogs.
Why are people
It's like, guess what? Your healer also gets ult charge. You know, like as Mercy, I'm getting closer to resurrecting your fucking piece of shit ass that doesn't appreciate. Fucking ridiculous, man. What else? Hack sensitivity. I think that's pretty much it. Did I miss anything? Winston's head's being decreased by 15% his hitbox. Just his hitbox.
Right.
Not visually. They're not shrinking his head. Making it so that he just gets hit a little bit less by critical hits. With Winston, I still think that that's not the buff he needs. And I've changed my mind a lot about what I do think he needs. I don't think he needs a damage buff. Because I think a damage buff would make him too effective on certain characters, and it would be unfair. What I do think is, well, one thing, I think his clip size, if you're going to increase his damage output at all, increase his clip size. I think that, because so many times, like, you're just within so close of finishing a person, then you have to reload, and it gives them a chance to get away. Maybe that's by design, but I think that his clip size being increased would be great. But yeah, buff the shield, buff the fucking shield. Buff it, if you're not going to change the amount of health the shield has, reduce its cooldown. Because right now, Symmetra is more effective as a temporary shield giver than him.
Yeah.
He's just like, her shield is 1,000, just like his, and yet she gets to put it out every, what is it, like 6 seconds?
I feel like I'm always able to put hers out.
Whereas Winston's is like every 12 seconds plus the 4 seconds it stays up for.
Yeah.
So That's ridiculous to me. And I don't think many people in the game see Winston shields as an issue. I don't think, I laugh at them. Like, they just disappear so fucking quickly.
Yeah.
It's very rare,
I don't laugh at them, but I'm not scared of them.
except for in a one-on-one battle, do the shields, I feel like, come into play very much.
Right.
In a one-on-one battle, you're like, oh, fuck, now I gotta get past this shield. He's gonna get away. He's gonna jump by the time I get through this shield to him. But, that's not what the shield was designed for. One-on-one battles, the shield is supposed to protect more than just him.
Oh, yeah, totally.
In a one-on-one battle.
Big dome.
And it doesn't do fuck for the team. Like, it's never there long enough.
Symmetra's cooldown starts as soon as she sends it out. Not when it breaks.
Oh my
also.
god, that's insane compared to... Yeah, I just don't get it. During the days of multi-Winstons, I could see why it was an issue. Winstons stacking up their shields and stuff like that. But and double Winston comps were very big in even pro play
I still can't
for a
believe
while.
that was a thing.
It was a big thing.
So weird.
Having multiple characters the same doesn't it feel stupid?
Yeah.
I'm so glad they got rid of it. The other thing I'd like to see change, and I've said this many times, get rid of the 4-second disappearance of his shield. The cooldown shouldn't start until the shield's gone, and he should be able to disengage his shield with a button, just like the ice wall.
Yeah.
But the shield should stay as long as he wants. He should be able to put it up preemptively, leave it on his team, and then go away.
People need to melt it.
Yeah.
Or he disengages
and then sure, in that case, make the cooldown only start once it's gone, obviously. Because another issue I heard during the beta was people would stack multiple Winston shields when it didn't have a time that it went away. They actually had it so that Winston's cooldown started as soon as he dropped it. In addition, the shield never disappeared. So there was times where a payload would be arriving on the you're on defensive, and you see a payload come around the corner, and it has 3 Winston shields that he saved up and put on it over time.
Holy
like that,
shit.
obviously that's an issue. Sure, I acknowledge that. But having it so that the cooldown doesn't start till the shield disappears, that solves it. 4-second disappearance of the shield, it sucks because unlike Reinhardt's shield, you can't even trust Winston to not drop it, right? Like with a Reinhardt shield, I can see the cracks. I'm like, it's about to disappear.
Yeah.
Or if the Reinhardt is shitty, it might disappear randomly. That sucks, but whatever. In the case of Winston, you can't even, if you weren't paying absolute attention to when he dropped it, if you were distracted when he dropped it, you turn around, I never trust a Winston shield because I'm like, I don't know when this was placed. For all I know, I could stand here for the next 4 seconds taking shots at them, or it could disappear in a half second and I'm dead. Like, nobody trusts a Winston shield unless they were there the moment they saw it get dropped because of the 4-second cooldown. Like, whoever looks at the cracks in the Winston shield? Nobody, because it doesn't matter. It'll be gone in 4 seconds. Like,
I do know it cracks.
I don't look at the cracks like I do the
really.
Reinhardt shield cracks. Like, I depend on those cracks to know when it's about to disappear. Whereas, so anyways, I really want them to change Winston in a big way. Because he's not used. Nobody, really uses him in serious play. Except for, you can do well with him in certain situations against certain characters. But he's just, if you look at the stats of how much in this tank meta, the tank meta that we just had, every other tank but Winston was getting used. All the other tanks we're seeing something like an uptick of 50 to 70% usage rate, except for Winston. Nobody was changing their usage rate of Winston.
Unless there's a Symmetra.
Not really, because she can even beat the shit out of him. It's kind of sad. One-on-one with Symmetra wins.
It's not really so much the one-on-one, it's just getting rid of all the sentry turrets.
It's like a one-time thing though. You jump in, they're gone, and then she, it gets rid of the one microwave room and then she's gone. Usually I prefer, for those Symmetra moments where she has too much set up on the other side of a pinch point, is Pharah. Jump over, look back, shoot at them, they're gone, and then you have a character that's not Winston to actually kill people with.
He's widely used on PC.
Not according to the stats. Guys, I look at the overbuff stats all the time for PC and on console. The stats don't lie. Especially, and I know that pro play doesn't necessarily reflect everybody's play, but what I just said is true. Winston did not see an uptick in use. As opposed during the tank meta, which has really kind of faded away. But he did not see an uptick compared to every other tank who saw a massive uptick in use. I'm sure people use it. I see people use him in console all the time. Yes, he still gets used, but just I'm talking about relative to other tanks.
Right. The other change was custom matches. You gain XP in custom matches, or it will potentially.
Yeah, you're going to finally get experience points. In addition, they also, and I don't know if this is coming to console or not, but they've increased, or they've made it so that you can now make custom servers that stick around, I think, even when you're not playing. I don't know how it works exactly, like if everybody gets to use one. Okay, DMI, you can continue to say that anecdotally. Go look at the stats, and then go look at the stats. Go read the meta report on overbuff.com. The guy's amazing, writes amazing articles about the current usage of each hero. Go read the stats. I don't care what you've seen.
Aww.
And you can tell me lots of anecdotal evidence about how much he gets used. Go look at the stats. Anyways, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, I don't know if everybody's gonna get to like per person, everybody gets like a custom server or something, but you can create custom servers that can be searched for with your own custom rule sets, and they will continue to be there. I guess even when you're not around, so in other words, custom games don't just get created then dissolve when you're done. They can stick around and you can name them and have your own. Okay. Almost like having a private server, and I think you can. I don't know if you can make them private, have a password or only invite certain people, or if
oh, no way.
How it works, but.
So are you interested in setting something like that up?
No. I don't like custom games. I like getting better at the real game, and I find the only time I could see liking a custom game, I'm talking about with alternate rule sets. I could see setting one up for the VGA community.
Yeah.
That always,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, sure. That has the real rules.
You can make them private.
I could see having it with the real rules all the time. I'm not going to make a kooky server where, cooldown times are 0 and, only Genji versus fucking Hanzo, because that's fun. No, I'm not going to do any of that, because I just want to play the real game. Any time spent not playing the real game, I think as a waste of time that I'm not getting better at playing the actual game.
Yeah.
But anyways... May serves everyone snow cones.
We do have a TF2 turbo server for Overwatch.
We have a group, and everybody can get in there, and you can join the group, turbos, and they all kind of organize with each other when to go in to comp together and stuff like that.
Yeah, check the forums. There's one for PC and there's one for PS4.
I don't know if Blizzard announced this, but I hope they do at some point add all talk to custom servers.
Oh yeah.
I would be okay with creating, and I think this is how custom games should go with our community. We're not really fighting each other. You're practicing each other's shots and having some games, but the games will be uneven because everybody's in such a huge, wide skill range, and it's only going to be able to balance you so well. Really, it's about hanging out, just like our TF2 server, and it would be nice to have all chat,
right?
Like you can in TF2. So. I hope they add that. I don't think they announced that with this one, but I hope that they add that. That would be very nice. Any other things that are new in Overwatch? I think that there was... hero number 24 is not going to be Doomfist, according to Jeff Kaplan.
Oh, really?
He decided to nip it in the bud and stop people from getting their hopes up. He's obviously coming eventually. People really thought he was coming because apparently on Numbani with the last update in PTR, the glass around his Doomfist is cracked.
Right.
So people were really thinking the hype was building, but maybe he's hero number 25. All Kaplan's let us know is that 24 is not who you think it is, he said.
All right.
So unless he's being cheeky and it is Doomfist, but Doomfist is a different person than you think he is, maybe. His myth has been bigger than the man. Maybe the legend is changed what you perceive him as.
Interesting.
That's my theory, is that's a possibility that he's being cheeky. However, it's possible he's just totally not going to be a thing. So anyways, update on what I've been doing on Overwatch recently.
One other thing.
What?
You can also put healing orbs on Mei when she's in her ice as Zenyatta.
Same as Mercy being able to heal her.
Yes.
Yeah. Lucio.
That's what you've been doing?
I've been playing a lot of Lucio and Anna and Zenyatta. Just trying to get generally better at healers. I played Anna for a long time. I was at Diamond, dropped like a rock. I just don't Like, sometimes I can do well, but for the most part, I don't like... It's mainly the scope aiming that I hate. I can't find a sensitivity that I like.
Uh-huh.
I find that, like, no matter where I put it, it either feels too slow or too fast, too sensitive. It just can't get to a point that makes sense for me.
Yeah.
I also find her to be a character who can be extremely good if you have a team that knows how to play with her properly.
Right.
People spamming "I need healing" while not paying attention to who you're playing, where you're playing as Ana. Like, you got to stay in her sight line. Actually, trying to play as her for quite a few hours gave me a better impression of how to play with her.
Yep.
You
That's
need
cool.
to know where your Ana has decided to set up if you want healing. Like, you can't leave sight lines, and that's a huge part. Of course, again, you can't rely on that Ana to play in a way that you expect either, though. She could leave that sight line every 10 seconds, and you'd never know.
True.
For me, I find Ana to be a character who's going to be way better, not as much in pubs as the stats reflect. She's the least winningest hero in healing. Least winningest healer. Because she really needs a team to hone their strategy around her. Whereas other healers just need a great healer. Like, all characters will work better if the team's working around each character on their team, but unlike Ana, Lucio, Mercy, and Zenyatta don't need nearly as much attention as Ana.
Right, yeah.
From the rest of the team. Anyways, then I started to play Zenyatta, which he's my most winning hero, period, in fact.
Oh, really? Zenyatta?
I think he's beaten by Symmetra, which doesn't count because I only play her defensively, so I feel like it's slanted, the statistics. But yeah, Zenyatta is my biggest winning hero. So I'm trying to get better at him. I think the main reason is because when I do use voice chat nowadays on pubs, and I only play him if I see 6 people in the voice chat, so I cherry pick when I play him.
Right.
And if I see 5 people are listening to me, then I start the match by saying, all right, guys, I'm going Zen, and I'll be calling out my Discords. And then for the rest of the match, if you have a good team, they're sitting there concentrating. Every time I say, Roadhog left side, Tracer in the back right side.
Nice.
You know, like fucking whoever up on that thingy. You know, like, and you just keep on calling them out. And the team just has this natural inclination to be like, okay. And it just, it's almost like Zenyatta is like a composer. Like, he's just composing the battle. He's like, now over there, now over there. And
Awesome.
you can, with the right team, you feel so powerful as Zenyatta. You're just like, I put an orb on you, and that means you're dead now. Yeah. Because, with a good team, it often means that.
Aww.
To me, it's not as much the 30% damage increase that does it, because he used to have 50, and that made him insane. But
yeah,
I feel like you could reduce it to 20% damage increase, and he'd still be just as viable because of the power comes from the psychological effect of a team seeing purple orbs on people.
Yeah.
And really focusing them down.
Yeah.
And listening, potentially, to the person playing Zenyatta. Anyways, the other thing I've been trying to do a lot is play Lucio better. Because I keep on thinking I was playing him right until... Oh, conductor, not composer. I don't know music, you fucking music nerds. I've been I've always thought that I was good at him.
Uh-huh.
Until I started looking at the stats and seeing that, like, I'm on the lower end of kills as Lucio. Like, I'm in the lower, like, 25th, 30th percentile of people who kill with Lucio. And I know that doesn't necessarily mean a good thing, because a lot of those people getting lots of kills with Lucio might be dying a lot, thus putting their healer offline, which is a bad thing. I always thought being Lucio was all about making sure you were alive.
Yeah.
Stay alive so your team has heals. However, then you watch things like DSP Stanky, that video Vindication, which is just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you start to see that a really good Lucio can replace guys like your Genji and your Tracer, whose main purposes I see as being a character that can hunt down guys with low health and finish them before they go get healing.
Right.
I feel myself that that's the main purpose of flankers. Isn't so much going and killing a person outright, maybe in some cases, but mainly it's about making sure that people with low health don't get away. Lucio can do that if you're really good, and I've been trying to get better at that.
With the speed song on?
Yeah. You toss on the speed song for a second, and you just go over and you get the fucker. Again, it takes real skill being able to see your moments, and it's about what I've gathered so far, and I have been increasing my kills steadily without increasing my deaths, which is important.
Yeah.
I've been trying to increase my kills without increasing my deaths. And anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, is the biggest for me is it's not just finding your spots to jump in. Obviously, you have to. You're like, oh, there's an opportunity as Lucio, wall ride, shoot a guy or something like that. It's also having a game plan for your exit.
Right.
Every time is knowing that not only can I get in there and kill that guy, but I'm going to get out too, and knowing how and when to do it. It's huge. And if
my exit plan is like they kill me, and I'll go back to spawn. It's fine. So I always
and then
know
you
where
speed
I'm
song
going
out
to
of
end
spawn,
up.
so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's easy to get
I've
back.
got my exit plan too, dude. You're not that special.
And I've been getting better at wall riding in certain areas and stuff like that, and getting.
Explain that one area that you told me about.
I was talking about on Temple of Anubis. Lucio mains will know how satisfying it can be to on those pillars that lead up to the second point on Anubis, going on the right side of the pillar and then the left side of the next one and the right side of the next one, like a sort of slalom. It's really nice. You can like do that to get to the gate. Get behind and then jump up on the wall of behind the gate or on the gate's wall.
Right.
Shoot the Reinhardt from behind, boost him into your team, and then jump on the next pillar and go back to the point. It can be it can make them fucking angry. It's so fucking bad. I've had games with Lucio with 4 gold medals, and it's so satisfying to get 4 gold medals as Lucio. Never damage, but kills, objective kills, healing, and objective time.
How do you like the backwards wall ride?
Oh, while just facing out.
Oh.
It's kind of technically not backwards wall riding. It's like you're
just looking backwards?
you can't technically backwards wall ride. It just feels like you are because you're looking outward.
Right.
I mean, I guess you can. I don't know. I still find wall riding sometimes to be a little bit janky on some maps, which is annoying, but inconsistent.
There's a setting in controls to backwards wall ride?
What?
I never knew.
You learn something all the time. Are you fucking kidding me?
You do learn something all the time.
Why would you not want that on? Where is it? What the fuck? Wow, all right. So my entire gameplay is going to be changed now.
I never
Wow.
Wow.
That's fucking nuts.
That's
I did not know.
craziness.
This is the thing. It's just I mean, there's so many things that sometimes you just won't know. I still meet people who don't know that a bubble from Zarya while Reinhardt has his shield up. I could go into a custom game right now, I guess. A bubble from Zarya on a Reinhardt while he has his shield up, shooting at Reinhardt will give Zarya power. So few people know this. And it's so enraging when you're on opposing that Zarya and she's got constantly full charge. You're like, stop fucking shooting the bubble when she's got it on Reinhardt. And and then you'll often when I'm on a team, I'll tell them if we have a Zarya, put it on Reinhardt. Lots of people don't know this.
Yeah.
And so few people, some people will admit, they're like, I didn't know that. And some people are like, oh yeah, I always knew that. No, you can tell they didn't.
Wait a minute. Explain it again. I was
So-
just nodding and smiling.
A lot of people assume that when the bubble is on Reinhardt, if Reinhardt's shield is up, if you shoot it at the Reinhardt, even though he's got a bubble on him, it's hitting his shield, not her bubble. But no, the bubble goes out beyond the shield, like a circle, and as you shoot him, she's getting charged from you shooting him. It's not shooting his shield. You can shoot the edges of the fucking shield, that's fine. But if you aim at him, which a lot of people just do by habit, you're not doing anything to his shield. You're just charging up Zarya.
I never
And
knew.
so few people knew about this. I thought it
never
was a
knew
myth,
that.
to be honest. All you need to do is play Zarya once, toss a bubble on Reinhardt while he's got his shield up, and feel that fucking vibration. You're like, sweet. Thank you.
That's funny.
I mean, I didn't know it until that happened to me as Zarya. As I was charging up doing it, and I'm like, holy fuck, nobody even knows that this is happening, I feel.
I never knew.
What kind of rules are we doing for this? Quick play, I guess? Not competitive, and yeah, we'll do that. Map rotation.
When are you going to open your fucking things?
Let's do only skirmishes. I don't know if I'm going to open all my things. I think it'll be a thing when I feel bad on the show and I'll open one. I don't want any of these. I want.
You aren't gonna do all of them at once? Do you know how much people that collect stats love watching that shit?
No. What,
They
people are
love it.
collecting my stats on my...
No, if you open a
Oh.
whole bunch of them at once. I'm just assuming there's people out there that
Don't
are
I want to
collecting
get to
stats
100
on
to
it.
do that then?
Yeah, let's do it. At 100.
I want to play just... I like our show's custom games most when we just do King of the Hill. I feel like they feel so much better than the other matches. We need more King of the Hill maps.
Yeah.
The next map better be King of the Hill.
I cannot let a loot box go without being open
You know,
as well. Like
it
I
used to
have
be hard for
open
me
them.
until you reach a certain number, then it starts to really not matter that you're not opening them.
Yeah.
When you've only
you
got
probably
like
have
2 or 3 sitting
everything.
there, you're like, I want to open it. But when you let it get to
How
like...
do you get to 2 or 3? It's fucking crazy.
Once you get in the habit of not even... Like, I don't even know when I'm getting them now.
What?
Because you don't see the
I
number.
work and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get that one loot box and then that's the end of it for me today. I'm gonna open it and then start over again tomorrow or whenever. In fucking 2 weeks, the next time I play.
Random hero. Heroes all are on.
But the box!
Team balancing. Automatic and random. And the balancing happens after a game. After a game, right?
I tried
Such
to
weird
save them all
wording.
up, but I only got to 6 before it overwhelmed me. It's less special, don't you think?
What?
Because then you're going to open 100 and be like, what'd I even get? But if you get one and it's a good one, then you're like, oh, that was so good. Yeah.
I think it's different for me since I have a video game show. I feel like I'm actually investing in the show by having lots of boxes to open on show. It feels
maybe.
like more of a...
Select your hero.
Also, I want some, like, oh, here's some news. Kaplan has, maybe it wasn't Kaplan, but somebody on the Blizzard forums didn't say outright that Torbjorn's coming back, getting on console being buffed, going back to normal damage instead of 30% reduction. He didn't say absolutely, but he did say in a thread where people were complaining about it, he admitted that the change was made due to multi-hero stacking. Mostly, that a huge part of it was that, and now that that isn't a thing, they are reconsidering. They will be reconsidering his character on console. He didn't say absolutely it was going to change back. He just kind of.
Oh, good try.
He did say that a big goal of theirs was to maintain the balance between PC and console, and that they are going to look back at it again. And that's a good thing to me, a positive thing, and I hope that
The objective.
All right. Oh, am I in the...
I don't think you are.
I should be. Maybe... I should be in team voice chat right now. Maybe they're just not talking back.
Baloney Man was talking earlier and we didn't hear him.
That's weird. Maybe he just wasn't talking, he just made like a small sound.
Oh, maybe.
It's so weird not playing with headphones. I don't know how to play without headphones.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm
weird.
blind. Like it actually feels like being blind.
Weird.
Like I haven't been blind before, but it feels like I've lost a sense. Like I technically still have my
Wouldn't
hearing.
it feel a little bit more like being deaf?
No, it really feels like being blind. It's like I don't see as much as I used to.
Weird.
The sounds in Overwatch let you know what's behind you, and you just... Your brain creates pictures of what's around you.
Destiny has drawn me to the objective.
I like that you collect scrap as you go now. That's awesome.
That's changed them a bit, yeah. Although I didn't like the change when it first came out, and I still don't know if I like it because I liked that collecting scrap made him a very active and get the fuck away from
I'm
your turret
still very
character.
active.
Yeah, I know you've been actually quite good about trying to be that type of Torbjorn.
Yeah. Tracer again, eh?
Yeah.
Deaf is ear blindness.
You should be at peak performance levels.
I honestly feel that way. Like, it feels like blindness, not deafness. He has headphones, see? Like, he heard me coming up. Does he have a scatter? La 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 la. Our team's not doing well, and I don't think I'm helping. But I want to kill this fucker.
Lucio just dropped the beat, though. You're getting
Apparently-
obsessed. You're getting obsessed. That's not the priority.
Now I can take the point. Not fair.
Ow, my earballs.
I will be doing comp. I can't play nearly like I'm supposed to without headphones in. It just doesn't work.
Weird. Maybe I'll leave at some point so that you can put your headphones on and not feel rude.
So what have you been concentrating on, Becky, when playing?
Not being a shitty player. That's what my main focus has been. Guys, I've been so bad.
Well, yeah, Becky's been continuing to drop rank.
Like, big time. I'm in, like, the 1200s. It's crazy. It's crazy, okay? Because, like, yeah, I'm really, really not good. But people just drop and...
Shit.
Like, what am I supposed to do when people are dropping games? People have just been dropping like crazy.
Sometimes you get bad luck. Although I would
sucks.
say that you don't I think that you may deserve to be around that level.
I think I deserve to be around 14
Okay.
or 15.
Yeah, I don't think you're a bad player. The thing is, like, the fact is, Becky's a good example of somebody who wants to get better, but doesn't have the built-in abilities that a lot of us have grown up with. Mm-hmm. Like we've said many times on the show, Becky didn't even play 3D based, anything that required you to control your camera in a game, let alone first-person shooters on a console. I grew up never playing a first-person shooter on console, so I actually had, I'd say most of my improvements in this game have been from getting better like that. I talked about on Twitter recently, like, I played Widowmaker to get back at a team that wouldn't come into fucking team chat, hoping they'd come in to yell at me, and then all of a sudden I went on a fucking insane streak, and I was like, I still don't think that I was being a better asset to the team than I would have if I was another character, but I was way better than I ever thought I could be at Widowmaker just because since I've started, I've actually gotten the flick thing down and like I've just had skills I didn't have before.
Yeah.
And over time, as you play more and more, Becky, you're just gonna start to get skills you didn't have before.
Right. I think the thing that's difficult for me too is the fact that whenever I started, I was higher. Like
Well,
was
that's the other thing is that yes, you can get to a point with.
I was like 1986.
I'll agree that I think you could, if you were put back up there again, you could probably play and stay there.
Yeah.
I don't think that you necessarily. It's really hard to say because like I've made it to diamond, and I've dropped down and gone to diamond again multiple times. So I have demonstrated that I can get to the rank I think I deserve.
Yeah.
Over and over. However, I will admit that once I've dropped to places like 2700 before, it's taken me way longer than it ever should have to get back to diamond because of things like teams being shitty.
Yeah.
Eventually, I always get back up to diamond again, but I will admit it can be excruciating to get out of the trenches.
Yeah.
So, while like everybody gets the rank they deserve, they get it over the right amount of sample size, and it's possible you're just not playing enough, basically, to get yourself out.
I'm definitely not playing enough. I find it very hard to play video games during the day.
Check this out. Oh, I was hoping he'd get in here by the time. Is he gonna get us? I don't want to die to this fucker.
Grab that.
Somebody else is gonna get me. There you go.
There you go.
That's all I wanted. I am obsessed with killing the snipers. What were you saying?
I find it very, very difficult to play video games during the day. I can't. I just can't
Yeah, Megan
do it.
hates it when it's light outside.
Whenever I grew
I
up,
don't either.
we weren't allowed to like be in the house during the day. Like it's a real mindfuck.
I would hate
for
to
me.
play it in that living room that we have with the skylights and the
Yeah,
daylight
those
outside.
goddamn skylights and the beautiful sunshine. Fuck that shit. But yeah, and then at nighttime, I don't know, we like to kind of like watch TV together. Like,
Yep.
I like to read a lot. I
So
don't know.
your
I just find
excuses you don't have the opportunity to play.
I don't make it an opportunity, or I don't
Right.
make it a priority.
I have the benefit of having the dark studio that's blocked out sun to play throughout the day without feeling weird about playing in the day.
Yeah. No, we weren't allowed to play in the house whenever I was a kid. Like, you had to get outside. You had to be outside.
So
Yeah.
what characters have you been concentrating on?
But yeah,
Anything
whenever
new?
I have played, honestly, I've been playing just trying to. Okay, so last season I tried to do what you said and play all characters evenly. Mm-hmm. And then I did like
Have some water.
okay last season. It's beside you. I did okay last season, but then this season I was just dropping. And so you told me to focus on the characters that I felt like I could do okay with. So I've been playing Pharah, Lucio, what else did I play a lot? I played Torbjorn a lot.
You play Torbjorn some. And he's quite viable down where you are.
Yeah. There's one other, D.Va. Oh, Soldier.
Soldier, yeah, Becky's actually quite good at Soldier. She's, for somebody who, like I just talked about, not growing up with first-person shooters on the console, you'd be surprised at how well she can train her aim. And I think
really
that
like playing Soldier.
Soldier is a good training character.
Yeah.
He's got an all-around, like, he makes you, to some extent, feel like have to pay attention to your team for the healing aspect.
Yeah, I
an eye on
love
what's
that
going
he
on.
has healing.
And he's got a lot of things that he can do. He's very much a Swiss Army knife of characters. Mm-hmm. And all around, he is going to help you with your aim. I've been trying to encourage Becky, and I encourage most people, especially on console, to play characters that don't require absolute aim. Like, I talk about this often on the show. Why are all those characters? Oh,
Yeah.
because 2 of each role. I talk about things like McCree can be good if you concentrate 100% on McCree and become amazing at him. Because he's such a very much like, if you miss that shot, you do 0 damage. If you get that shot, you're going to do better than, say, like, if you hit every shot, you're going to do better than a soldier who hits every shot. But the fact is, like, I encourage people who aren't pros or who don't want to be one character, which I think everybody should not want to do, to play Soldier, because if you're a little off, you still did some fucking damage, and
Yeah.
that adds up if you're playing on a team that plays well and concentrates on character.
Right.
I like characters like Soldier, anybody who has, like, you know, I like Pharah because of her damage. You don't need a fucking perfect shot.
You complimented my Pharah playing the other day.
Yeah, Becky can do quite good.
You said
Becky's
I
not
had
a
a
bad player.
flick.
She has like some, and Becky's been developing the flick too. I've been seeing it. And you probably didn't even like consciously try to get it, did you?
No.
Like, it's just happening now. You just start to get these instincts.
I also recently turned my sensitivity all the way up to 100%, which I didn't even notice that much of a difference, which is fucking crazy because I had it at like 40.
Right, yeah. Like,
Why didn't I notice a difference, Fraser?
you didn't notice the difference being increasing it?
From 40 to 100.
Yeah, like, because with the new control scheme, there isn't that much of a difference besides increasing the sensitivity of, well, it's complicated, but it is amazing to have. It's not like it used to be, let's just say that. When it first came out, going from 40 to 100 would just feel like night and day.
Okay, because I used to up my sensitivity very, very slowly, like 1 or 2
Yeah.
points every few games.
I think it was Bundro or 8-Bit Eyes that clued me into how they changed it.
Yeah.
But ever since they changed to the new type of control scheme, the equivalent, going from 50 to 100, let's say, I would say is the equivalent in the old scheme of going from like maybe 50 to 60.
Yeah,
or
like
50
I
to
noticed
70
it
at
so
most.
much before.
Yeah, now,
And then we recently switched it for me, and I was like, I did some practice matches, and I was like, this feels like, I guess I did notice a bit of a difference, but like, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to play. I thought it was just gonna be so overwhelming, the difference. Who's getting ya?
sorry, I want to
No,
survive
that's okay.
here. Oh,
You can
man.
whip around fairly quickly.
Yeah, that's the main thing,
Yeah.
is it increases your ability to whip around, and you start to train yourself not to use the outside of the joystick except for when you do want to whip around.
Yeah.
And you start to use smaller movements for flicks.
I think you had set me up pretty well for it too, giving me an idea of what I should expect and how I should play. So that
Yeah,
helped.
yeah. Like, you really have to train yourself not to use the outer 10%
Yeah.
unless you want to turn.
We're all soldiers now.
Every so often you do a move that you surprise yourself with, too. The other day I was playing Pharah, and I was on this awesome killing streak, and I guess I was really in the zone because I heard a Reaper behind me, shooting behind me, as I killed like 3 people on the point, and then I heard a Reaper behind me, and I just 180'd and shot him. I hadn't had eyes on him in any way,
Wow.
and he was right next to me, like behind me, and I just 180'd, and the moment my vision saw the Reaper, my trigger finger just hit. So it literally just went
Nice.
like this and shot the moment I saw a glint of black.
That's impressive.
And I didn't consciously think of it. It just happened. It was an instinct. It just went.
Huh.
And when those moments happen, you get so satisfied. Like, you're like, holy shit, I'm improving. I'm becoming a better player.
Nice. I would love to get that feeling
You
at some point.
surely
No,
have
man,
at
it's
some
been
point.
so bad lately. Like, I don't know, man. Okay, so that's one thing. Like, I was dropping so much that I got to a point where I was like, all right, I don't fucking care.
Well, it sucks that you're in the range
What?
of people that don't even play right. Like, you're in a range of people who aren't trying to play right, even. And so
But
it's,
we are. We're just not.
some aren't.
good.
Some, I've watched those games. Some of them look like they just really don't have any semblance of like what they need to do to get better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like you would do better if you played with people who are just a bit better. Like, I think you could
Yeah.
do great on some turbo teams. Like,
Yeah.
especially if you had some coaching, maybe not from me.
Why?
Because you get frustrated with me coaching.
But it did get to a point recently where I was like, all right, I don't fucking care. I'm just gonna play and like try to have fun. And so I played as Sombra, who I hadn't played as at all, and I actually had so much fun with her. Like, I thought she was,
It's great just to
Pretty
like opening
cool.
up your mind to new characters like that.
yeah.
I was hoping to use my. You guys saw that, right? Like, I had my ultimate that whole time, but not
Yeah.
once was there an opportunity. I guess that we just have this team suppressed so much. Anyways, yeah, I know what you're saying though.
Yeah.
Like, Sombra can, like, playing characters that are radically different can really make you see the game in different ways.
That's a good example. Lime green technique. I know when my sister plays Pictionary, people tell her to at least try to draw, and she says she is. Some people are naturally that bad. Yeah, like, well, I guess the other thing is, too, I've never played a game remotely close to this, so
I can get this fucking.
don't get
Pharah.
obsessed. You got obsessed, and it worked out for you. Oh, you can get her. Yeah.
Ooh, fresh, good Genji.
Can you jump up there from here?
Best round. 1.
I was gonna get you, brother. So you
Aw.
played a little bit of Sombra.
Yep.
What else?
I was telling Fraser that I was trying to play Reaper, but I just don't know why I would play Reaper when I can play Soldier.
Well, that I was also telling you that that's what I often try to, like, when I go to play Reaper, my first question is why not Soldier? If I can't
Yeah.
come up with an answer, then I play Reaper.
So when would I play Reaper?
Reaper in situations where the long range really isn't an issue. There are games where you'll see that. Like, so you'll want to go Reaper sometimes when you see a lot of tanks on the other team. However, if you don't see a team comp for yourself, first of all, that allows you to go close range, you can't play Reaper. And second, if they have anything in the air that needs to be dealt with, if you don't already have a soldier, you're going to need a soldier for it, like Pharah or maybe a Genji or Tracer. Soldier can be really good at getting. Reaper can get Tracers, but that's the main thing, is that just Reaper's become a lot less viable since Soldier's been buffed, and he's so much more specific than Soldier, who just tends to be good at every situation.
Yeah.
But it does depend on your own team comp, and if your team is being aggressive or not. If they're not being aggressive, then how are you ever going to get within range to help?
Right.
Can I survive this? I never got healed. Okay, I did get healed now. I don't know how I did that. Just staying out of the battle.
Reaper hasn't been touched by any buff or nerf?
No, yeah, he hasn't.
Wow,
and yet,
what?
inadvertently, he has because of all of his counters being buffed over time. So he's seen like a decline in use because of that.
Okay, so go Reaper
Almost got
whenever we're like up close.
He does the best
close
as being like, to me, and again, like I've had some contention with some of our fans about this, but Reaper isn't what a lot of people think he is. Yes, he can be used as a flanker occasionally, but I find that some of the weakest Reapers use that too often. The best thing you can do as Reaper is stick in the core of your team, being this little black spot in the middle, in the back, or rather just in the middle, like right behind your...
Needs healing. Heal her.
Right in the middle of your team, just sending out a massive amount of damage, especially in the Reinhardt on Reinhardt meta type, like those constant situations. Often whoever has the Reaper will be the one to take that shield down first, like...
Right.
Because he just has the best damage output outside of Bastion. He beats Soldier's damage output by a good margin, but it's just that like it is only a situational type of damage. It needs to be...
Ooh.
Yeah, that was Lyshora too as Roadhog. I'm surprised he didn't get a hook on me. Lyshora is quite good.
Oh shit.
You failed, Lyshora. You should do better. Try harder. Uh-oh. Ah, shit! Oh!
Yep.
Seriously, though? Well, that's a good example right there. In my mind, I was already pretty much behind the pillar, but as you saw from his replay, he actually hooked me in a place where I thought that I wasn't hooked.
Right.
I thought I was hooked just as I was going behind it, whereas he had actually hooked me like a split second before.
Yeah.
And that's why people often feel like hooks are unfair.
That's the play of the game.
I actually thought I was out of range.
Yeah,
One foot
I like
backwards and
playing
I probably
Torbjorn.
would have been fine. Yeah, and Torbjorn's great at your
See, that's the other thing. Fraser's always like,
level.
Torbjorn sucks, he's the worst, or like whatever
He's
character.
not great.
And I'm like, okay, well, you don't play on my level. Like at my level, it makes sense for me to play as
Can
him.
be viable at
So
your
I have
level
to,
for sure.
Sometimes I have to just ignore everything that Fraser's saying and do what I want.
Do it. Sure.
Sometimes that's the strategy.
No, I played Torbjorn on my way to Diamond, and I did quite well with him. In fact, he's my, I think, second winningest hero. But you pick your moments. You can't just play him all over the place.
Well,
Why did I get dropped from my own custom?
they don't want to play with you anymore.
All right, new custom game. This will get other people an opportunity to jump in, but I have to go through and fix everything again.
We all got dropped? Okay. Supports are the key to any game and any team. That's true. I do very much like playing as Lucio. But I mean, if there's another healer, I generally... I don't know, somebody else can take that role. But if there aren't healers, then I'll go Lucio. I am like a fucking awful Mercy. God awful. I don't even understand.
It's tough. It takes a... my advice to playing Mercy is... You can't... So... When you use your thing to get close to people, you need to already be turning around to look at who you're going to aim at to get away from where you just got.
Right. Yeah.
That's what
see
I'm
that
doing.
whole flying towards people thing? I'm not good at that.
You got to do that often because you need to
Yeah.
get to people to heal them, right? In time.
I've played Mercy for less than a minute in the current season.
That's funny. No, she can be difficult. She can be quite squishy, and you got to be slippery. Here's what you could do. Like, just analyze who are the mercies that have annoyed you the most that you faced. Often
yeah.
they're the ones who, just as you're about to kill them, just go.
Yeah, I know. I totally do that whenever I think about like where to place Symmetra turrets and like where has it been annoying for me in the past. And I've tried that with Mercy, but I can't. Like, I have no instinct. I don't know which buttons are which, and I'm like, ugh. I know I should be flying away right now. Which is it?
It just takes time if you want to be a good Mercy, but I mean, yeah, it could potentially take a lot of time if you feel like you just don't even have the beginning of the instincts for it. There you go. I personally don't like playing. If you like playing Lucio, just keep playing Lucio. I mean, you only need to be good at one healer, really. To be an asset to your team, to be like, I've talked to you guys about like how I want to be well-rounded at every hero, and that's an asset to me, having a video game show where I get to talk about all these things passionately.
Right.
I want to have experience with everybody. But you personally, like as a person who doesn't play it, let me see. How many hours have I played? 100 hours quick play, 165 this season, 136 first season,
That's why
65.
I never
So
get to hang out with
about almost 400 hours or something. I think.
I think
that
I've
is.
played 40 maybe altogether.
So if you don't have the luxury of being able to do that, clearly you're going to have to kind of get good at certain types instead of trying to be well-rounded at everybody. And I just recommend you try to be well-rounded across the board of types of heroes. And what I've said before on the show is, even if you can't be good at every hero on the roster, you should be able to look at every hero on the roster and say, if I'm having trouble with that character, this is the character I choose. If you don't have an answer to that for every hero, then you need to start thinking about who else you should start to learn.
I don't.
If you can't counter, if you don't have a hero on the roster that you would switch to counter Pharah, you got to learn Soldier.
Yeah.
You got to learn Soldier. In fact, I just say to everybody, learn Soldier. He's such an all-around character, and his skill set applies to every character, like getting good at him.
Okay.
And you're already on your way there, which is good. Soldier, he's the classic shooter hero. I love doing this.
Yeah, man.
I don't know who to aim at.
Fun.
I thought there'd be less targets. I was gonna take. I've done hooks with Roadhog going up there. It's so fun to hook somebody into the air with you and shoot them.
Oh my god, that's nuts. I'm a terrible Zenyatta. I meant Zarya. And Zenyatta.
I love Zarya. But you can only play her during. What? That icicle was in my vision. Did you see that?
No.
That was crazy. You can only play Zarya when your hands are feeling it, because you have to be a precision aimer. You got to keep that laser pointer trained to be good as her.
Yeah, see, that's not really my style.
Well, I've seen you do it with Soldier. It's just a beam instead of a hose of bullets.
The beam fucks me up.
Oh, I thought he was still alive.
Oh, you slippery bastard.
You're a little buggered, Minette.
That sounded really cool.
It felt really cool. I set up the vibration really high and then I put it on my vagina.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Icicles get stuck in your bubble. It's a nice touch. That's really neat.
Oh, Shelby, the Reaper keeps coming down.
Yeah, the Reaper. Oh, the Reaper's finally dead. He got away
He
with.
does that all the time, Brash.
What?
Sets the sensitivity up really high and puts it on his vagina.
Yeah, Zarya can be so satisfying when you're on a team that plays aggressively too, because you need kind of a team that is ready to go all out so that you can get bubbles on them, and then she's all about ebb and flow. Like, you go in with a bubble, then you back off, and hopefully, if your team is playing right, the next person's ready to go in and in front of you and take the next bubble, and you get yourself up to a high charge. And then I find that my biggest downfall as Zarya when I'm doing well is not knowing when to.
Damn. Oh, Tarantula's sniper. Shit. Oh wait, no, you're.
He just
May?
got one icicle on me. I just passed that mercy.
Together, we are strong.
I mean that May.
Round lost.
I find my biggest downfall is getting 99 charge or something and then getting way too aggressive. Because you got that 99 charge, you're like, I can kill anything, and then you just get yourself killed.
Yeah.
It's so hard when you have that, and your fucking laser is such a high sound. Like, it's just, it makes you want to jump in and be insane.
Are you gonna add friends?
Sure, who wants added? Is anybody in there right now?
Yeah, Alice. I don't know they're going to friends though.
You need your thing. You need to say your actual name in the game, not just add me.
It was like a while
Okay.
ago that they asked. Useless hindrance.
By the way, I've come around on this map. It was just really mind-boggling for a while because of its wide open spaces, but now that teams are starting to get in their mind what to do, like on that last point, that high ground, you don't need the high ground if you stay on the other side of the building where the high ground can't shoot you. And you need to realize that. Like, who cares if they have the high ground? They can't cap the point from up there, so it doesn't matter. And just making small realizations like that make it a lot less daunting to play on that map.
Right. Oh.
I know you're just trying to be funny, Shelby, but fuck off.
Nice job.
What does useless hindrance mean? And why was that like Shora's nickname in high school?
Why am I Zarya so much?
I wanted a nickname that reflects my gaming skills.
Every time I've gone in, my team disappears from the point. I went in with 4 people around me, and all of a sudden I was the only one left.
I was on the point.
Oh, you were there too.
Hanzo, at your service.
I've been abandoning you, Fraser. I feel abandoned too in a lot of matches.
All right, where are we?
Enemy contact.
It's nice to know that that gun's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Who's gonna
You guys
block this
need
for
to-
me so I can set up?
You guys need to take care of that sniper. I think that's the most frustrating part is seeing and knowing what to do, but you just can't.
Accomplish it because
Yeah.
your hands aren't doing it for
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
So you're tactically better than you are physically?
Yes.
Wow, you can get frozen from that high up? That's weird.
Uh-oh.
That's really weird. I thought that the maze ice only went up like maybe that high off the ground.
I would have thought like
It goes up.
where the top is
That goes up
how high as it goes.
way higher than I thought it would.
One kill.
Oh, so we need someone on there. We didn't make it.
Game and Ape, you don't need high ground if the high ground doesn't matter.
He was talking about the other map.
Oh.
No, you were talking
Yeah.
about the other map, not this one.
Oh, because I was getting the high ground there?
Play of the game.
Yeah, you were fucking killing it, Minette.
Whoa. Whoa. That wasn't your kill.
I love it whenever I'm in the play of the match.
You love that?
Yeah.
It makes you feel good?
Yeah,
Excellent.
I contributed to somebody else's success in their killing of me.
A Widowmaker play of the game? Well, custom matches are weird matches, guys. Like, I'm not even bothering grouping up. Obviously, I'm not playing like I usually would here. We're just talking. What?
Fun fact, high ground was not one of the many types of ground discussed in The Art of War.
Seriously?
Sun Tzu's The Art of War. That's fucking crazy. How can you not talk about that?
How the fuck did he not include high ground?
Yeah. Huh.
How could he leave that out?
Yeah.
Is China flat?
No. I call hacks.
High ground is extremely important in Overwatch. It allows you to...
Especially if you're a soldier, huh? You tell me to get high ground.
Yeah, it makes a higher percentage of the hitbox. Like if you're up here, it's hard. This isn't quite high ground enough. But when you're looking down on a character, the percentage of head hitbox suddenly becomes way higher.
You'll
Like-
want to add useless
Too late.
hindrance. Oh,
Like look at the hitbox on say like Winston facing forward. It's kind of like making everybody into a Winston, having their head face the front of what you're shooting.
right.
My ultimate is charged.
And also people forget to look up.
Yes, a lot of people forget to look up. Now look at this little guy. He's gonna set up right there. Oh, fuck off, McCree. Well, how was the McCree able to stand there and do that while our entire team was right next to him? He just stood there calmly doing that while I'm trying to get the fucking... Alright.
Sun Tzu. All armies prefer high ground to low and sunny places to dark. So it was mentioned in passing, but not like
Oh, okay.
in depth. If you guys want to be added in Overwatch or to the friends list and stuff, make sure you go to the forums because I go in and I add everyone who's in the forums, in the Turbo forums.
Did I get him out? What happened there? What the fuck just happened? That was weird. I'll be going to get that person.
Thank you. Oh, it's the Minette. You gotta kill him now.
I saw him for 1 second and
Nanette survived all that, eh?
oh no, Minette is a murderer.
Yeah. Everyone kill Minette. Oh no, Minette is a murderer.
Where'd he go now? I want to take down adult D.Va as baby D.Va. I did.
Uh-oh. So for a while I thought I was being a hindrance to my team by not joining voice chat. And so I joined voice chat and the people were so nice. They were like, you know, that was a good try, good one.
Sometimes you can get a real good team.
Yeah, so that was my
Nice.
first experience with voice chat and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this more. And then every time after that, people were just so fucking mean. Like, why are you even playing? You're shit. I was like, oh, you're right, but you're
That
also
would make me
at
want to get on mic and
1500.
be like, you know what your rank is right now?
Yeah. And they basically tell me just how bad I am. And I'm like, well, I don't need you to tell me how bad I am. I feel it, dude. So now I'm back to not using chat anymore.
That's good.
They're so mean.
No, people are horrible.
So mean.
No, they're shitheads.
I can't handle it.
And everyone.
I had a very strange map where there was lots of great communication. Everyone was talking, everyone was saying, "Oh, maybe we need this or that."
I can't really hear you that much, Inkit, unless we really shut up. I can hear you just little bits of whatever you say, but
He said that I could hear a bit. He said that he had a good experience with voice chat, where everyone was actually like paying attention. Oh, and it turned bad at the end.
oh yeah, people will turn on each other real fast.
Yeah.
Was I the only one went around? Is that why they all concentrated? I guess I was.
I think that it's different at different levels as well. Well, maybe it isn't. But I feel like at higher levels, it's probably more important to have communication with the rest of your team. Because you know what you're doing. Oh, fuck. It's almost dead.
Yeah. Oh, they finally got him.
If I'm using voice chat, it's only with turbos.
Wow, we got some salty turbos. Minette waved at me.
Maybe he was just saying hi. I would like to think that they're not salty. Oh,
That needed to happen.
was a
He was around
decent
for way
setup.
too long. Seriously?
Wow, the opponent was surrounded.
Score 0-1.
It happens.
The first time I used voice chat in Overwatch, I got cussed out. Yeah, I bet.
I told Becky about a pretty legendary moment where I trolled a guy who was going nuts. I can't remember the exact details now. But basically, I shut him down by psychologically analyzing him and not speaking to him, but to the rest of the team.
Oh, yeah.
And I had the whole team laughing at him.
He was being a very mean
He was being
man.
a horrible fucking person.
Fraser only does it to mean people.
I only do it to people who really need it done to them.
Yeah. What about the person that there was a kid in the room?
Oh God. Yeah, like I've heard people where there's clearly kids in the room, and I heard another turbo say they had seen this too. There's clearly a kid in their room. You can hear him in the background, and he's saying some fucked up shit. One turbo said they heard in the background a kid say, "You got him," and then the person and then the person teabagged. So they're on their team. They watched as a teammate killed a player, and then the person they could hear a kid over that guy's mic say, "You got him," and then he started teabagging,
Maybe it's a brother.
teaching them nice and young
Maybe it's a
to
brother
be fucking
because
shitty people.
I
That was
would really
him who
like
said
to
that.
think.
It happened in a skirmish. Oh, man.
Oh God.
We're probably be on, I'm on their side right now.
Turret deployed. Enemy turret ahead.
Where's the turret?
Oh, they knew it was there.
As if it has that range, man.
Yeah. Grab that health. You have 1 health.
Oh well, I got the turret right.
Oh yeah, I'm speaking on the stream right now. The other team can hear me.
Enemy turret destroyed.
I remember watching my brother do that when I was a kid. He's a shithead.
No, if you teabag in a game, just mark my words, you are shitty. You are a shitty person if you do it unprovoked. If you were provoked, oh, I reciprocate teabags. For sure. I love getting like that sweet, sweet revenge where you end up dominating them over and over afterwards and teabagging back. Just to remind them who did it first. But outside of that, how is there... Oh, yeah, okay, no. I already warned you about it, man. I don't find it funny. I've never met you,
Oh no.
so...
Oh no.
If it was a person I met and I know that, like... Or even talked to before on here. There's a spot available now, guys. It's just not funny because I don't know him. I've never met him, never even seen him chat in there.
I pretty much only teabag if it's like agreed upon joke or something.
If I thought it would be different if you were doing it, I'd still call you an asshole, but I've met you in real life and I've played many games on your team and chatted with you on here. I do not know that person who's doing that over and over to me.
just like from the moment I don't usually. It's like I have to agree beforehand. Okay, what's the teammate on the show?
All right, Starbreaker.
Otherwise,
This
I'm
is-
here with calling it teammate.
This is gonna change it to Roadhog's hook. Because they use it a lot here. Yeah, man, throw that shit out.
Kind of a weird place to put it.
On their side.
Yeah. Yeah, so the problem, I feel like I can't get beyond Diamond myself. I think Diamond is where I will rest
Yeah.
unless I start to buckle down and concentrate on mains, sadly.
Right.
I do think that in order to rise up further, you need to, like, definitely being well-rounded on a few different characters is an asset, being able to swap out and meet the team needs as you go.
Right.
But having a few concentrated ones that you become really good at is a huge asset, and that's
Yeah.
going to get you up to master. Like, a lot of the people in the masters have like basically one main and then a secondary, and usually their secondary is like a healer or something. Sometimes some of the better players, just so that they can every so often pull healer duty when it's needed and stuff. But there's something to be said about really concentrating on one character and getting to know all those intricacies that you don't learn otherwise.
Yeah.
Like there's things that I can do as Pharah that in our audience you've seen people be like, what?
Yeah.
Because when you really focus on a character, you just start to play them on a whole new level. And that's pretty much what's needed to get up to master, I think.
So sorry, did you say whether you're gonna try to do that in the future?
I don't want to. It's so boring.
Yeah.
The only way I could see wanting to go to masters is if I like started to concentrate with turbos as a team to get up there.
Yeah.
I think that would be like something I could see trying to like as a team become really good and go higher and higher.
Yeah.
But people get so serious up there, and they hate it when you don't play to a certain meta. Like they like template, and if you're not
Right.
playing into that template, they are really angry. So it just becomes really stale and boring. In addition to everybody being so fucking serious as fuck, like everything
Yeah.
is like Overwatch means everything to them because they think that once they get to Diamond and start climbing their way towards Master, they think that they're one step away from earning millions as a pro gamer, and so everything you do that hurts their team, that they see as you hurting the team, is like hurting their potential future as a pro gamer. I feel like that's the feeling I get from them,
Yeah.
and it's not fun. And then what's worse is when the opposite team throws them for a loop and plays a comp that doesn't make sense, that they don't think makes sense because it's
Yeah.
not in the meta, and they lose to it. Oh, watch out! You don't like holding on to armor, eh?
Well, why would you? Because you're gonna die
Okay.
eventually,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know. Usually I wait until I see a healer and I give it to them, but I haven't seen anybody who deserves it.
Well, it's different with random heroes, I feel.
Yeah, because I won't have them in a bit.
Yeah. I have 4 mains, 1 for each category of hero.
It's quite good
That's
to have.
smart.
I played part.
Yikes. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble.
Season 3 ends on the 21st.
The tire went by me?
Ooh.
I'll take it.
Save.
That went longer than it should have.
So, now that you've died, does that armor stay there in random heroes, or is it automatically gone?
It's gone. As soon as I get switched to Bastion
Okay.
here, I think it disappeared.
Soldier for offense, Mei for defense, D.Va for tank, Lucio for support.
Sounds like you can deal with most characters. You might be missing a hard counter to Genji unless you're a really good soldier, I guess. Well, I guess Mei can kind of counter him, yeah. Yeah, you got kind of some adequate... Again, if you hone yourself, like there's a lot of characters people will be like, that's not a counter to that. A lot of people would tell me that and I would tell a lot of people that Pharah is not a counter to a Pharah, except when you're really fucking good at Pharah.
Yeah.
I've played matches where I'm like, you know what? Soldier's not working against that Pharah because my team's doing so poorly that I can't even get a foothold on the ground before I die to shoot at that Pharah. So I'll go Pharah to counter a Pharah and just eat them up.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's really nice sometimes to be amazing at Pharah.
Yeah. Mei can counter Genji pretty easily, although Genji can run away.
Like, no rule that I say in Overwatch is hard and fast because everybody has different abilities and every situation is different.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sorry, Mercy. Mercy's really trying to keep me alive,
Yeah.
but nope.
Good try.
By the way, again, in these custom matches, don't see this as proper play, please. You may have noticed I'm not even trying to group up. This is just fucking pure skirmish.
There's no better feeling as a Pharah than to boot people off the edge.
Oh yeah. Well, I would say a direct hit on another Pharah in the air is the best feeling as Pharah.
Yeah.
Multiple. I was showing Becky a clip where I had to counter a Pharah, and like, just every time the Pharah came out, the Pharah went Pharah to counter, I forget what we had.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And I went Pharah, and like, they wouldn't give up on it. They're like, they were probably thinking, they probably thought of themselves as a good
Yeah.
Pharah. And they're like, a Pharah can't counter a Pharah effectively. And I just, every time they came out, bam, bam, out of the air. I was on fire. Like,
Yeah.
every hit was direct in
It was
the
pretty
air.
crazy.
And then I ended up being on his team in the next game, and he was good about it. He was just like, holy fuck.
You were the Pharah?
He was like, I was trying to get rid of, I forget who he was countering, but he was legitimately trying to counter another character on our
Yeah.
team. And he's like, but I just couldn't fucking get out of spawn, it felt like.
Direct hit on Pharah. It's Pharah's like sex.
It feels like it for sure.
Bundro says it ends as me crying. Funny.
Genjis are definitely fun to counter. You know what's funny about Genji is that I've encountered few Genjis whose muscle memory still doesn't always try to deflect electricity from Winston, Symmetra's beam, and
Yeah.
Zarya's beam.
Yeah.
Genjis will constantly turn around, see you, and go, "Ugh," but then you're just melting them, and they don't like, they can't.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any Genji mains out there who have trained themselves not to waste their deflect on that. I haven't. Like,
We're
I
one
mean,
player
but I
short?
don't- They do that to Maze Ice too, yeah.
Mei is another character I never play as.
One shot. One kill.
You should play May. She's fun. She can be quite good.
But people are so like, this is one of the things that people were saying when I was listening. They were analyzing the Mei wall and like bitching when they put it up and when they didn't put it up.
Well, that's the thing that just comes with time to learn. May walls, I find you end up using them. Well, you're still in the headspace where, and I've seen you with this with Pharah. If you see a cooldown ended, you feel like you need to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like especially with Pharah's deflect rocket or whatever you call
you.
it. Her
You
knockback.
shush. I deflect when I need to. I deflect all the
Becky
time.
uses deflect
It's insane.
as her 7th rocket.
Yeah.
And I think there was quite a long time where she thought it did damage.
Oh yeah, there was a very long time.
That was it. That was so lucky. Did you see me get the tracer?
No.
I was trying to hit
Nice.
Target's turret and she just dashed into my shot.
Damn.
The enemies of Talon will be eliminated.
You fucking bitch.
Nulani said that she must be a good Mei because she's often referred to as cancer. I can't believe
May
that's
is
a
awesome
fucking thing.
when you start to learn the times to use the wall, especially dividing teams at gates.
Yeah.
And like I find I rarely now, I used to use it all the time to protect myself. Now I rarely do that. Now I just make sure I'm never in situations where I need to do that. I do it sometimes, but it's rare. It's like a last resort type thing.
Right.
I find myself always finding opportunities to really help my team out with a wall, especially separating the opposite team and also giving your Reinhardt time to breathe when his shield goes down at a pinch point is huge. And really important in this, I'm terrible Widowmaker right now. And really important in this current, the meta I was talking about earlier.
The
Reinhardt on Reinhardt, because
right.
oftentimes, like the team that has a Mei that lets that shield recharge when his is down is going to have a huge benefit. I guess I could get up on this thingy.
Allow them to take the point.
I don't know all the Widowmaker spots. Ah. You're gonna get poisoned. Yeah. I knew it. I almost had my ultimate.
Aww. Oh, Widowmakers? Who cares?
Yeah, stopping ultimate abilities is awesome with it. When you hear a soldier, like, I have you in my sights, and you toss up a wall in front of them, it's
yeah.
nice. It takes a long time to practice and get good at because it's not something you can do over and over, right? It's a thing that you have to see opportunities and use it, so...
Yeah. And it's another thing where I'm like, I know when it's annoying when other people do it, but I can't.
It takes time. It's just one of those
It's
things that
not
takes time.
there.
It can't be actively practiced. It has to.
Yeah.
You always have to hope that the other team gives you situations to use it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll go games where it doesn't feel like the wall is very necessary. So,
Stop wasting guns, Reaper. Seriously, like, he doesn't even recycle them. A kid could just pick that up. And sometimes they have bullets in them still.
and I recently had a game where a Mei she didn't have a mic. I don't know why I just did that. And she kept on punching me, and I thought she was just being annoyed that I was a Bastion, and it was on Hanamura.
Yeah.
And so I finally followed her, and she took me over to the left side building on Hanamura on the side, you know, that elevated area, and gave me an ice wall to boost me up onto the roof.
Really?
And I never really had seen that before, which is surprising in the amount of hours I've played the game, that you can get Bastion all the way up onto the roof.
Wow. That's awesome.
I've seen people do it, you know, in this Lijiang Tower, the map with the little windows in.
Oh, yeah. Lijiang Tower, the map with the
I've
windows.
seen people lift Bastion up through those windows just to shoot for a bit, then bring it back down again, then bring it back up again to shoot for a bit.
Which windows? You mean in the center point?
Yeah. Like there's little
Yeah.
rectangle windows.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, once Bastion's up on that roof, it's pretty fucking... It'll be... I guess with the next changes to Bastion, won't be nearly as
Right.
effective, because it's too long a range for him to really do much from up there. It's especially effective if you have a Mercy on your team. I was finding our Mercy was constantly using me as an escape plan and to keep me healed. So every time she needed to get out, she just looked up to where I was, because she knew I'd be up there,
wow.
would jump up to me, heal me up, and then go back down to the team again.
That's cool.
So it was an asset both to me and her.
Heroes can apparently stand on the back of Pharah too to get a boost.
No,
into
they
useful
can't.
Places?
Okay, so you probably got tricked into that by... So a GIF went out that showed... Yeah, a McCree getting onto a Pharah's back and going up high and shooting down on the team with his ultimate.
Okay.
People failed to see in that GIF that the McCree was on the opposite team of the Pharah. It was clearly a custom match or something like that. That's the only... You can get on the back of an enemy Pharah if she stands completely still for you and lets you jump up on top.
Okay.
It definitely looked fun, but the internet went wild over it, saying, "How has nobody realized this yet?" And I was like, she's red, he's blue.
Aw.
You can...
Aw, so sad.
Yeah. I'll admit, for a split second, I was like, huh? And then I was like, no.
Aw.
Okay, something I've been seeing a lot, and I'll see if I can do it right here. This takes practice. Come on, Reinhardt. Okay, he put down his shield so that worked, but it wouldn't have worked if he didn't. I've been seeing a lot of McCrees lately. It requires perfect precision. Toss a flashbang just over the shield, and it will stun the Reinhardt, and he'll drop his shield.
Oh,
But it has to be perfectly right above his shield. If it's any higher, it won't work.
Huh.
And I've had it happen to me, and I was like, what? I've played 300 hours of this game, and that's like the first fucking time I had a McCree do that to me. It was pretty impressive. But I haven't seen it much since, and I'm surprised, because like it's so effective.
Huh.
I had always just
I've done it a
assumed.
couple. I've had it done a couple times to me. Interesting.
I just always assumed that the game was designed so that wasn't possible, but in fact it is. It just requires really good aim. Like, there's a very small margin where it just won't work.
It's hard on console to do.
Very hard on console. I tried. After I saw it, I tried to practice it, and I just couldn't get it to happen more than I did it twice out of 20 tries. I was like, Jesus.
Watching over you.
I've finally tried McCree for a bit and have been enjoying him.
He can be good in the right situations. He's just, to me, if you're going to be a reliable person for your team as McCree, you gotta be a McCree, period.
Yeah.
He's gotta be your guy, and I don't know, if you want to do that, that's fine, but I don't think there's many players who play all characters who can get that good at McCree. It requires too much time and aim and precision and practice.
Right.
And I'm speaking from a console point of view. I think that on PC probably doesn't, that sentiment doesn't apply, but
I don't have the aim for McCree either.
he's not nearly as good on console as he is on PC, and the stats show it. You just have to look at the stats on Overbuff or any of those sites. He just doesn't win that much.
Lucio, checking in the
I'll admit, you can have some great rounds as McCree, but then you can have, and please admit this, McCree mains, you can have rounds where your aim just ain't connecting. And like I've said before, what's gonna go happen here? And like I've said before, I'd rather have a person on my team playing a character where if they're having an off match, they're still hitting a little bit, than just missing all the time.
Right.
I'd rather have a soldier missing 50% of his bullets than McCree missing them all.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that Hanzo was still alive. He was my buddy. Fuck.
That's every round I play as McCree. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pharah missing, but she gets splash damage,
Yes.
so it evens out.
Which is why I don't feel totally useless when I'm playing Pharah.
It's just I'm not a fan of characters where you're only rewarded if you're perfect, because you're not always going to be perfect, sadly. I'd rather have characters. The only bad thing about the other characters that I'm talking about, like Pharah and Soldier, is if you lull yourself into this feeling that you're doing just fine and there's no room for improvement. You need to
Get on the
always be
point.
trying to. I don't want to. I want to kill this guy. You always have to be realizing, especially as a Pharah main, that you could get closer to that target. Yes, you did damage to them with the splash, but you have to realize that, and there's no visual way to tell when you're doing more damage besides the health bar going down, but you always got to be trying to do better.
Right.
Don't think that just any splash damage is enough damage.
Right. Hey, there you are.
And it's especially nice for...
You made it!
We lost because Frash threw that game. It's especially good, those types of characters are good for people who are just learning, because... What's happening?
Will you add useless?
It's good for people who are just learning, because you get quantifiable results slowly over time, instead of just being you're either good or you're not.
Yeah. Friend requests at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Like a soldier, as you get better, the whole trajectory from being shit soldier to good soldier, you're still doing something for your team.
Yeah.
But from being shit McCree to great McCree, you're just gonna bring down so many teams on your way to getting there. I'm not saying you shouldn't try. If you really are dedicated to McCree, you can become amazing, I'm sure. But I don't know. Also, his ultimate also doesn't have it's also a be all end all. Either it's great or not ultimate.
Yeah.
With Soldier, you're probably gonna get one person at least. With McCree, there's so many instances he can be his ultimate's countered by so many people.
Yeah.
There's gonna be so many instances where you just get zero.
Oh, that's really cute. That spray in the middle on that wood.
Winston.
Oh, you ruined it.
Any issues with your genetic
Oh, now it's better. Now it's ruined. Now it's better. Fuck.
Okay, I would like to see sprays patched. Right now, putting down sprays, press up. That sucks.
Yeah.
We used to be able to do that. Now you have to hold up, hold this, and then I found that like you have to be perfect because if you let go of
Yeah, it's
up first and do that, nothing happens.
Yep.
So you're constantly
I
like
hear
doing
ya.
this thing where your aim goes up a bit as you place it. It feels so shitty.
I agree.
And it's been noticeable. People have been using sprays way less. Have you not seen that? Like in pubs? People just don't use sprays anymore because it doesn't feel
Really?
good to do.
Oh, it's a bummer. You can change that in the settings.
Oh, really? How? What happened? What?
you just have to bind it to like
A different button?
yeah, and then it'll just go back to normal.
I guess I could bind it to like sideways. No, that. Oh yeah, I could bind it to left because nobody wants this. Left or right?
Does that update if you change?
This?
Yeah.
Change what?
If you change your buttons.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think it always says the same things. Which is it's
I just
only
kind of
purely
ignored
there
it.
for the very beginners. It's unnecessary afterwards.
I have the voice wheel on left D-pad. Yeah.
So I got good at Soldier
Me
recently.
too, Baloney Man. I love doing that. Jumping up to like a ceiling and putting a Pharah spray, and I
Yeah.
can't do that anymore. Sorry, you got what?
I was just gonna say, like, when I got good at Soldier in the last season, and then suddenly started to do crappier at him, and then I realized I was addicted to burst fire, and that I was putting too much stock in burst fire, and I wonder if anybody's felt the same way. Like, when you start to get good at burst fire, then you start to rely on it too much and realize that his damage spread does spread, yes, but it's not as bad as you think it is. You start to think the only way to fire is burst, when in fact you can kind of like just train your target and just keep firing and you're gonna do great. It's only a real distance where burst fire matters.
I've got you in my
Yeah, it's been a lot of times where I've tried to fit fire even if there's actually quite close.
Yeah,
You don't need to.
yeah, and I've been like that.
I've got you in my sights.
I will protect the innocent.
All right, maybe after this match I'll swap out and we'll play some
I was just gonna say
custom
that.
matches with some turbos.
D.Va online.
And I'll leave so
Okay.
that you can play for serious.
Oh shit, I hope this keeps going because I did want to talk about this map in detail again. Batman, get on it. Fuck. Yeah, anyways, that high ground, don't become obsessed with that.
Yeah.
If you're on the left side of that pillar thing,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's good to know.
Like,
Because
especially
I do get obsessed with that high ground.
if you already have the point, why be up there? Like, they
high
can't.
ground's always
Because if
good.
they take the high ground, you stay on this side of the pillar, they can't shoot you. They can't cap from up there.
Yeah, true.
Like, if maybe if they send somebody down to start capping while they have the high ground, maybe that could be a detriment to you because somebody has to get on the other side of the pillar, and if they have the high ground, they'll shoot down on the guy trying to get the people who are capping. But you can still get quite a few angles where you don't have to even worry about that high ground still.
Okay. Did you mean comp matches?
Yeah.
Competitive matches.
And you still don't have to hit them because they can't cap until you're dead off the point. So yeah, no, you really don't need it unless you're capping.
Do you ever fall down the middle in here?
Yes, it's a good place to exit from being in trouble.
Thanks for the heals,
Yeah, I need those.
whoever that was.
I didn't get hooked. I was lucky. I'm getting lucky as fuck right now. Or I'm getting good heals, I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That ain't luck. I blasted back the wrong person. I thought he was shooting at me, but obviously he doesn't have Soldier's ability.
Who's our
healing
healer
me?
right now? Yeah.
Oh, I had an orb on me. Man, I'm just getting sweet picks because I'm getting lucky enough to hit people at low health. Who's shooting me? It's a D.Va somewhere.
Check who the healer was.
Ian Kid.
I'm dead. I've got my healing field down. It doesn't do much, but
Personally, I found D.Va can be godlike in Oasis. Don't really know why.
You know, one mistake I've been seeing a lot with teams when they make their team comp is not including a character that can go get people. D.Va's my favorite for that,
Yeah.
but a lot of times I'll see a team comp and everybody on my team is happy with it and they're like, great, we have a great team. And I'm like, guys, what do we do if somebody's on a roof? There's no one on our
Yeah.
team who can deal with anybody on a roof. And it happens a lot, I find, where nobody thinks of the guy who needs to go up and get the Genji or the soldier who's firing down upon us.
Right.
D.Va's my favorite, but you know, Genji can also work and so can Pharah depending on the comp. But it happens tons that
Uh-oh.
people will leave spawn being like hunky-dory.
Yeah.
D.Va's great because not only can she be that character that goes hunts people off roofs, she can also be a character who, when Mercy says, there's a guy focusing me in the back, can like do a fucking 180, run back and go help her as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And because she's a tank, she can counter most characters with that defense matrix.
I like D.Va a lot.
She's awesome.
Never stop fighting for what you believe.
I think she's the most well-rounded tank. Like, she can do everything.
Yeah. I find it so fascinating how much you can talk and play at the same time.
Oh, I'm not doing well, but what are you doing? Baby D.Va, get out of here. I should have thrown a thing on her. Guys, there's a baby D.Va beside you. Oh my god, how did that splash not get her? I can heal you.
Oh, yes. I thought that Genji was gonna get on the point after he killed me, but he went sideways and he dodged my trap.
Score 1-1.
The nerf, yeah, I didn't see the nerf as being a huge deal myself. She lost 100 armor and gained 100 health, meaning she's got 100 overall health that's just a little bit less effective against characters like Reaper and Soldier.
Right.
Yeah, I really don't think it's that bad.
I think it was probably necessary based on how much you were seeing her get played.
She was too good before.
When the moon is full, games
Me.
We have 3 snipers.
Tree sniper is nice.
Sweet.
I mean, I'm basically a sniper too, so
Hanzo and yeah, we're all long range, including McCree. D.Va's like the only one who's not a long range character.
we'll just still stay behind you.
I guess I should concentrate on being a healer then and not being long range if that's the case.
Too bad
Nice.
I meant he's gonna get this score. Oh, sorry, just called it.
Cap the point from afar.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
Why'd I do that? D.Va's also my favorite, like, she's the cutest character I find.
Yeah.
Like, the thing she says while you're playing,
Yeah.
I got this! And she's this giant mech that you're healing, it's funny.
I like it in her B skin where she like
Yeah. And when she gets angry,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that.
like, she's so obnoxious, and yet
Yeah.
that voice actress is, like, again, adorable but obnoxious. Like, how do you have that voice? Fuck you, it's weird.
Alright, I'm the sweet sniper.
Main voice actor is adorable.
Yeah, they're both pretty adorable. I actually just for the first time saw Pharah's voice actress.
Is she adorable?
She's
She looks
attractive.
like Pharah, isn't she? Doesn't she?
Kinda, not quite as much as some people's characters. But yeah, she looks kinda like Pharah. There's a commercial that you can watch online of Sombra in like a toothpaste commercial.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Weird.
her voice actress talking about toothpaste. It's really weird.
I like when D.Va gets put to sleep, she wiggles the joystick. Cute.
You wish Pharah had more personality? No way, Pharah has tons of personality. I love how like stiff she is. How like uptight she is. It's hot.
It's a personality.
You're
So
into
uptight.
uptight chicks, huh?
Well, because you know when the armor comes off, she's a
uptight.
total slut. She's gotta be. Probably she helps her squad's morale in the
Ooh, there you
shore
go.
leave hours.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played. Actually, Junkrat's my least played this season.
Oh yeah.
I was actually kind of interested. Once I stopped worrying about my even play across all characters, I just started playing what I thought teams needed or what I was in the mood for.
Yeah.
And my lowest played is, I think, Junkrat, and then
Nice.
let's see what my lowest played are. Yeah, Junkrat, then Torbjorn, then Genji,
Play of the game.
Bastion.
Your lows are
Sombra.
my high. That's why we're so good together.
I've got you in my
My
sights.
Junkrat hours are way too high. I'll never be able to catch up to it.
Oh,
Sadly-
Junkrat's fun.
I just think that Junkrat is not viable on enough maps. He's not viable enough on a lot of maps.
I find it so insulting whenever they have 3 people up there. Like I wasn't good enough to even be.
Thank you.
None of us were good enough to be considered.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's true.
Awful.
All right. Mercy's voice actress is a crass German comedian. Oh my god.
Really?
I want to see that.
Yeah, we'd rather have no one than the rest of you, pretty much.
The reason Junkrat is hard to be viable in comp is because, like, he can be good, but the meta doesn't really play to him very well because Zaryas are popular, and you'll just find that your Junkrat is just powering. It's like most of the time when I'm like, who the fuck's powering up the Zarya? I check and I'm like, oh, we have a Junkrat now. It's like that as a Zarya. When I see a Junkrat on the other team, I'm like, tasty. I can't wait for your pills. Send them my way.
Yeah.
And because of that, it kind of just makes him. He can be really good in moments where I find him kind of like sometimes he can replace a Reaper for getting through Reinhardt's shields because he puts out a lot of damage really fast. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, when people are grouped up tight, he can be really effective too. Yeah, he's got his moments. But again, like, I mean, I'd rather go Pharah personally when people are grouped up like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, me too.
Anyways, alright, so we're going to take a quick break. And when I come back, I'm going to play some comp with the Turbo.
All alone. Bye, guys.
Sorry,
All
guys.
alone with the turbos, so be nice to them.
Fuck them.
No, be nice.
Alright, we'll be back after this. Stick around.
Bye.